Thank you, Aaron. It is, this, despite the agenda item showing July 7th on the, on the agenda, this is July 20th meeting of the Design Review Board. Can we call the roll, please, Heather?
Yes. Mr. Kenter?
Yes.
Mr. Fink?
Here.
Ms. Burkett?
Here.
Mr. Buck?
Here.
We do have a quorum. The Freedom of Information Act is as previously stated, and that these are public meetings and a public forum. Aaron, do you have any previous minutes you want to submit for approval?
No, sir, we're gonna bring last month's and this month's to next month's meeting. We'll
Okay,
pay you
so-
tomorrow for a hamburger today.
Okay, so the approval of previous minutes will be delayed until the next scheduled meeting. Aaron, do you want to introduce any personal appearances?
We have none?
Please note there are no personal appearances. Is there any unfinished business?
We have none.
Okay, having heard none, we'll move into the new business. Item 6 on the agenda. The first item under new business is accelerated review, the change of signage at the Circle K, 42 Center Street, Pattinson Signage.
So this, from a zoning standpoint, there are no issues with this proposal. I believe it was just last month, COVID kind of makes things run together. We previously approved a package of sign revisions for the new branding at the Circle K. The owners of that site decided not to go forward with those designs, so they've got another proposed design here they're submitting for your approval. And we do have the applicant here with us to answer any questions from you guys. But basically, the signs that we liked, they didn't like, and so, you know, they're not obligated to install those as we approve them. So they've got another proposal here with some different designs for your review and comment. And Sherry is here online with us. Thanks, Sherry.
Yeah. Hi.
And she is available to answer questions.
Could you introduce yourself, Sharon, for the record, please?
Sherry Hartzell.
Okay, Sherry, we have a list of, good Lord, how many pages are there? Okay, about 7 pages, I think, of different things. They are not numbered pages, so as you walk us through what your proposal is, can you refer us and make sure we're all on the right page, please?
Yes, sir, I sure can. What we're doing here for the ground sign, which is on page 3. We're just gonna do a standard reface there. Take away the VP and reface it with a Circle K. Have one price panel and then a polar pop. The subway thing will stay. The subway thing will remain as it is.
Okay, do we have, are there any questions from the various board members?
I wasn't at the last meeting. Was that what you requested them to do? It looks very simple to me and clean, but I don't know what was asked of them.
There was nothing.
Okay,
This is just them changing some signage and the colors on the canopy.
okay.
So you can see on the left, it says existing and proposed on the pages.
Right.
So like, the existing is typically in the top left-hand corner. So they have the color of the band of the roofs over the pump, changing from green to red. And then the pump, geometry and like hood over the actual pump, changing, like getting a little smaller in size and changing to like an orange chopped off oval. And then adding the little palm flag kit to the pole. I think
Correct.
that's it.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
From my standpoint, it it's substituting just a logo for a logo essentially in a color. I don't have a big problem with it, Alan.
I don't have anything.
Okay,
Brian, do you have anything you want, any questions?
I'm fine.
I'm good with it.
Okay, the only question that I have, Sherry, is as I look at this, and I apologize, I hadn't seen this package before the meeting. We are not going to have, or you don't plan to have any association with Shell Gas, is that correct?
Correct. This is gonna be strictly Circle K only.
What kind of gasoline are you gonna sell?
Regular gasoline. Regular unleaded and hot there. No, I'm not really sure if there's a brand, at all, or if Circle K really has a brand of gas.
Okay, the reason I asked, Sherry, and I'm not trying to be facetious here, is that part of the discussion last month was that people that are frequenting the facility that have a Shell credit card, for example, or whatever, sometimes they look for a brand of gasoline. I just didn't know, we had some discussion over whether or not the Shell brand would be featured at all on your signage. Okay, Alan, are you typing? You're killing me here.
Yeah, I hear something besides you.
Yeah, that-
It's X off of the mobile bowl. But we can't tell them what credit card to use.
I
mean,
I
it's not
understand.
an aesthetic thing.
Yeah, I understand. I was just reviewing the fact that that was part of our discussion last month since
Correct.
Karen wasn't here and they're making a new proposal. Okay, so
And from
Alan,
what I've been told, it is not gonna be Shell any longer, it's just strictly the Circle K.
interesting, okay. Karen, do you have any questions or comments about the proposal here?
Seems pretty straightforward.
Okay, Ryan?
I'm good.
Alan, you're good?
I'm good.
Okay, I have no other comments or questions. I guess the containers and all the rest of that are good to go. We're happy with all that. It doesn't make any, I don't think there's any egregious over the top.
Did we make a motion for accelerated review before the discussion? I can't remember.
Can we get a motion?
No, we didn't.
Actually, big point.
Yeah, I
No,
think we're supposed to do that.
you're right.
Alright, I'm in for accelerated review in hindsight.
And that's seconded, so we've had discussion. Sorry, we got a little out of order. That's on me. If there's no further discussion, do you have any other comments, Sherry, you wanted to make, or any other observations before we,
No, sir. No, I'm good, thank you.
okay. Heather, would you call the roll?
Mr. Kinter,
Yeah,
Ms. Burkett, Ms. Burkett,
Oh, sorry, yes, I'm sorry.
Mr. Bud,
Yes.
and Mr. Fink.
Yes.
Okay, Sherry, it's approved, and I'll touch base with you tomorrow on how they can actually get in touch with my coworker Eric and get this permitted.
Okay, great, well, have a good evening.
Thank you, Sherry.
Thank you for your patience.
thanks.
The second item is accelerated review for a sign at 23 Center Street. And that's for the John Rosen Law Firm. Can I have a motion to,
Move for accelerated review.
thank you. I'll second then. Okay, any comments? Anybody have any insight as to this particular, there's not a
This is
representative?
John's sign, right? John's sign we're looking at right now?
Correct.
Yes, ma'am. And so the applicant couldn't be here tonight, but he did ask that if you guys could review this in his absence. It's for two signs to go up next door to us at 23 Center Street. One is a small hanging sign similar to the Nick Thomas sign that got approved down at 36 Center Street. And the other one's just a plaque by the door. Both of these are well under the size limit for signs, and also combined with the native signs on the building for the store, they do not exceed the maximum number of signs, so it's good to go on my end.
I mean, the sign's fine, it's just very simple and plain, you know? I might have added another color, but it's not necessary.
What was that, business before this new before Rosen Law. I mean, it's good that it's a law firm going in there because of the charge.
For a long time, it was the Bolus Law Firm.
Oh, okay, it hasn't done anything since then, I think. I don't have anything.
I assume that, the colors as he's alluded to here are the way he's depicted them in the, narrative, and there's no conflict there. I don't have any problem with the colors. Anybody else? Any further discussion, folks?
I'm good.
Okay, Heather, please call the roll.
Mr. Buck?
Yes.
Mr. Kinter?
Yes?
Ms. Burkett?
Yes,
Mr. Fink?
Yes. The third item under new business is accelerated review for a deck addition at 107 Adler Circle. That's over in the area right next to Harris Teeter, the housing area there. Do we have any,
that's a planned development, correct?
Right, yes, ma'am.
Do I move for accelerated review?
Second.
okay, let's have, just have discussion on that. Are we all familiar with that particular neighborhood area or the housing development?
Oh, yeah. I personally, I think the reason that they have to come before us is because there were some issues in the beginning, but I don't, how could you have a problem with a porch over there?
Well,
I certainly don't.
yeah, it's not
It's like they're just
extended,
enclosing that covered porch
exactly.
and then doing the decks on the back.
I will tell you that this particular location is on the marsh side, so the extension of the deck is not interfering at all with passable areas or anything else. It's just having an outdoor deck space closer to the marsh and then closing the porch.
I think it's fine.
I don't have anything.
Do we need to move for approval?
Well, let me ask, Ryan, do you have any comments or questions?
No, it looks pretty straightforward to me.
Okay, Aaron, I assume there's no representative questions that they are asking us other than what's laid out here on the sheet?
Right, yes, sir. And just for the record and for anyone who's watching at home, the reason why this project is at the DRB, normally residential homes are exempt from DRB approval. However, Kings Flats is a planned development, and part of the rules for the approval of that planned development is DRB review of changes. And it's important to note that the setbacks, for example, here are all dependent on the DRB. They're not set in stone because of the PD. This particular porch extension does not increase or decrease, rather, the side setback, and it's well away from the 25-foot marsh buffer that's in place out there at Kings Flats. So zoning wise, it has, there's no problem with us.
Right.
I'm just coming to you guys because it's a planned development.
Okay, any other further comments or questions, Alan or Karen?
Sorry,
Okay.
just lost you guys.
I'm good with it.
Okay, Heather?
Mr. Buck?
Yes.
Ms. Burkett?
Yes,
Mr. Kinter?
Yes?
Mr. Fink?
Yes.
All right, passes. Ms. McKenzie, I'll shoot you an email tomorrow. Your permit, as you know, has been sitting waiting on this approval. Eric's done his review of it, so we'll get that in process, and I'll touch base with you tomorrow.
Thank you, Aaron,
All right, thank you for your patience.
and thank you for inviting me today.
Welcome, sir.
Sure.
Aaron, are there any other staff comments?
Do you have a staff comment related to the note about a new chairman? I do not know which, if any, members of the board, design review board are up for reappointment or new appointment this year. If you are up for reappointment, Kat has contacted you, and if you've been contacted by Kat and you're interested in continuing to be on the board, make sure to fill out that little web form that she sent, because now that we finally have our new council members in place, probably at the next city council meeting, we'll be making the new appointments.
Okay, then subsequent to that
I
time,
think she sent it to everyone.
what, was it email or,
It would have been an email. I'll have her check and, reach out to anyone who's involved and maybe give a phone call, just in case it's needed, because there's just a really short web form.
Okay. I don't know if I'm up or not, I can't remember.
We'll find out tomorrow. I'll tell her to call you.
Okay. Okay, just let me know. All right, is it time for
Any other staff comments here? And,
dispersal?
so
Adjournment?
your point is that once the council is seated and we know who all is going to be actually on the board, then that'll become an agenda item for the board itself to select a chair.
Yep, yes, sir.
Thank you. Any commission comments?
Thank you guys for your continued patience with our technology. Everybody did great tonight, so thanks.
The sound's better this time.
Yeah, I just had one little lapse in the sound there. Thank you.
Well, can I have a motion? Can we have a
All
motion?
right.
Can we have a motion to adjourn, please?
Yeah, I said that a little minute ago, motion to adjourn. Adjourn.
All right, thanks.
Good night.
As long as you're
Thank you.
as long as you're logged in, you're broadcasting, so just log out before you speak freely.